Hi guys, Little Lady here. Right, so today I'm going to make one of my granddad's very favourites that me and I used to make for him. And it's her homemade apple pie. Now, I haven't got any custard or anything to go with it. I'm just going to do the apple pie today because the custard will just go to waste. We're only going to have a little bit. Well, I'm only going to have a little bit of it. And then it'll go off to family tomorrow. So I'll bring you down and I'll show you the ingredients. Right, so for the pastry, I'm going to be using 400 grams of plain flour. I want 200 grams of butter and a tablespoon and a half of caster sugar and a pinch of salt. Now for the actual apple pie filling, I used 2 lots of apples for this. My granddad always had an apple tree at the end of his allotment. I don't know what kind of apples they were, but there used to be used to cook down like Bramleys. So I'm going to do the saucy bit with Bramley apples, which I'll do after I've done the pastry. And then I've got some ordinary eaten apples here. I can't remember what kind they were. They're from Lidl's, just whatever you've got. And I have some ground cinnamon and also a little bit of ground nutmeg as well. Right, so I'm going to move all of this for the moment, and I'm going to get on with doing the pastry because that'll go into the fridge. Right, so I've weighed out the flour, 400 grams, and I've also weighed out the butter as well, which is 200 grams. I'm just going to put that into there. This is a sweet short crust pastry, so there's no lard in this one. And so what I need now is a little pinch of salt. Just brings out the flavours. And I want a tablespoon and a half of caster sugar in there. So a little bit. There we go. And just do this as if you would be doing normal pastry. Whiz it up until it becomes like breadcrumbs. Add your water. As soon as your machine stops jumping about, you know that it's done. So what we'll do is, while this is going, let's have a look. No, I think I need just a drop more water. There we go. Yep, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this up in cling film and put it into the fridge, and we'll get on with starting the filling. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is deal with the Bramleys. I'm going to make this into like an apple sauce. Me Nana did this every Sunday for, you know, if you were having pork. She never bought it. She always made her own apple sauce. So I'm just going to peel these, get them into the pan, a little bit of water and some sugar because they're very tart, these apples. I mean, you don't have to do this. This is just the way that she used to do it. I think eating apples were really expensive at that time, so she used to use these free ones out the garden that went into the sauce. That was made into a sauce, sorry. So it bulks the whole thing out, so eating apples you hardly needed any. Well, saying that, still put quite a few in. Right, so just peel that. And just go into the core bit. You want to take this core bit out. And then it would just be a matter of slicing your apples up. So I'm going to crack on with the rest of these and then we'll come back. Right, so that's all the Bramley's done. I'm just going to turn the... I've got 100 mils of water there, that's all you'll need. And also a couple of tablespoons of sugar. What did I do with these tablespoons? There they are. You can always check, see if they were really sour. If they are, then you can put a bit more sugar in if you wanted to. And all you do, as soon as that starts coming to the boil, that'll start to cook these, and while that's doing that, and I'll keep bringing you back, I'll cut up the other apples in exactly the same way, but obviously I'm not cooking them ones first. Right, I've just finished peeling the other apples. I haven't cut them up or anything yet, and as you can see, these are already starting to break down like that. So I'm just going to keep going with that. Right, so by the time I'd finished peeling these ones, this is what the Bramleys look like. Now, I'm not going to take it much further than that because they're all going to be cooked again. Excuse me. However, if you are doing this for, like, to go with your pork on a Sunday, I would take it down just a tiny bit further. But if you look at that, I'm just going to have a little taste. Do you know what I could do with a little bit more sweetness? So I'm going to put in a half tablespoon, because I'm not going to put any more sweetness in with them apples either. So in with that, I'm going to have a nice grate of nutmeg, say about a quarter of a nutmeg for this amount. I love the smell of nutmeg when it hits something warm. So it like just takes you straight back to when you're a kid. Well, it does for me. That'll be fine. And just, oops, there's the lid gone. Now that's half a teaspoon, so I'm just going to do half of the half, so that's a quarter of a teaspoon of cinnamon. That was a bit much, I think. You don't want, you want it to still be able to taste the apples, basically. A little taste. Oh yeah, that's nice. Now all I do now is I put the eaten apples in with the cooking apples. Cools them down. That'll stop their cooking as well with the cold the apples going in. So I'm just going to pop that now to one side, and we'll get on with filling, if we're doing the pastry for our actual pie itself. I've got the oven on. I've got that set at 180 because mine's a fan oven. I've got a tray in there, so as soon as I put it on, then it will be hot straight on the bottom of the pie dish. But just for now, I'm going to clear this up and we'll get on with doing the pastry. Right, so there's the pastry back out of the fridge. So now, with this pastry, it's very short, with it only having butter in. So what we need to do is get the bottom bit, because we're not blind baking it, you don't need to, but you need to have the bottom bit thin. But I do like the nice thick biscuity bit on the top. So I'm going to do that much for the base. So I'm going to wrap that back up, pop that to one side, and get this into a rough round. Should be easy enough. It's like I say, it's very short, this pastry. When you use lard and in savoury, you know, it's a lot more forgiving. But this is beautiful pastry, this, with it all butter. Little bit on there. So just keep rolling it. Bit. always says to you to do it like this, and it keeps it into a rough round, but it never works for me. I probably don't do it right, but anyway, I'm just going to get this to the side of my plate, size of my plate, and then I'll come back. Right, so that's about the rough size of my plate. Just going, I'm using this plate and I've buttered it. It is a non-stick, but I've buttered it anyway just to make sure. And then we'll just get this into here. I'm just going to move it across a bit because I think, oh, a little bit less than that, I think. Right, a little bit. It's not quite done properly there. So, there you go. So make sure there's no air bubbles in it. Say if something doesn't work out like that, it's only pastry, don't let it worry you. So now I'm just going to roll out the lid. Right, so that's the lid done, and as you can see it's a lot thicker than what the base was. So now what I'm going to do is we'll get our apple pie filling straight in. There we go. I'm just going to pack it in. Make sure you get it. Don't want any bits that hasn't got any apple in it. Oh, I'm going to put that little bigger there. Right, so I'm just going to egg wash the rim. Look what I've got, guys. New pastry brushes. Ha ha ha. Yeah, I couldn't be doing with them silicone ones any longer. I think I got them free with something that I've bought. And I thought, oh, they're good. Oh, honestly. Just didn't work for me. Right, and then it's just the matter of popping your lid on, pressing it down, oh, back of the spoon trick again. Not the back of the spoon, the bottom of the spoon. Just go all the way around. Just make sure that both of them adhere to each other. And as you can see, it's such a simple pie to make, but absolutely delicious. So I've got my bread, my butter knife here, and I'm just gonna come off. It's blunt anyway, so it's not going to do any damage at all to my pie dish. Move that over to one side. Let's get rid of that little bit. When I bought these, there was two, bigger one, littler one. Don't want all that flour on there. So just get rid of that. Just flicked it all over, but hey, got to clean up anyway. And then push it with egg. See how much better these are. Oh, stringy egg right there. Right, so what I'm going to do, what I used to do, remember this? See that, guys? I'm just going to double check. Make a little leaf out of your scraps, a very good one. Do another one with a bigger bit of scrap. This one will do perfect. Oh, no, one because I've just messed that up. That one will do. Right, now I want a sharper knife, put a couple of holes in, so let the steam come out, pop the little leaves on there. Yeah, no, they're rubbish, aren't they? But hey, why not? A little bit of egg wash on there. And then the final thing before it goes into the oven, just got a little bit more caster sugar. Just put that over the top. Just a pinch. Right, so the oven's up to temperature now anyway. This is going to go into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes. So we'll see you when it's ready to come out. Right, so that's the alarm going off. I did give it the full 40 minutes. I checked it after 35 and I thought I'm just going to give it another 5 and turn the oven off. And here we are. And there it is, me Nana's apple pie. Now I can hear her now shouting, Manda, don't touch that, it'll be as hot as the hobs of hell. What the hobs of hell was, I have no idea. But it smells like me Nana's house on a Sunday afternoon. Just about to sit down to Sunday lunch, and then we had this with either custard or ice cream if we were really lucky afterwards. So I'm just going to let that just settle a little bit. Maybe it's about 15-20 minutes before I even think about cutting into it. As you can see, it's still bubbling. I hope you can actually catch that. There we go. Still bubbling underneath there. So there we go. That's my Nana's apple pie. And I think she'd be proud. So we'll come back in a little while. Right, so I've give that about half an hour. Excuse me, I'm just going to just move you across a little bit. Move this to one side for 1 second. Gonna get my board, that's a heat board. Even though it's not red hot anymore, I can use my fingers. And I'm gonna have a taste. So just move these along. You heard that pastry. So I'm not going to actually disturb me lovely little leaves there. Wait. I'm just going to get a little bit. Make sure I've gone through the pastry properly on both sides. And there you go. I'm just going to move that over a little bit so you can see. Wow. Right, so I think I'm going to have a little taste of this. Right, so normally I would probably have custard with this or ice cream. However, I'm only having a little taste. The rest of it's going away tomorrow for somebody else. So there we go. And let's have a little taste. I still see a bit of, that's been half an hour and there's still steam coming off it. Still hot. It brings us back to saying to me, Nana, I'm not really that hungry. Don't give us much dinner, please. So, because whenever you had dinner, you had to finish it. If you didn't finish it, you didn't get pud. So it was always, oh, Nana, I'm not that hungry. Just give us a little bit. Just give us a little plate. And then as soon as that was finished, went on to pud. I'm going to have another taste. I know it's hot. And that's been out 30 minutes. Absolutely gorgeous crispy pastry. Well, if you like this one, just give us a thumbs up, give us a watch, give us a like. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, and by the way, I just want to say a massive, huge thank you to every single person. I've now hit 30,000 subscribers and I never thought that was ever going to happen. So I just have to, from the bottom of my heart, and just thank you all so very, very much. You won't believe what that actually means. So yeah, before I start getting emotional, Nana's recipe, thanking yous, I'm going to get myself away. I'm going to finish this, have a few memories, and we'll catch you later, guys.